What's good? This is Trey, and this video is how to talk to girls and how to become a player in the game. Right? So, becoming a player in the game, that basically means you're actually out here taking shots. You're actually out here playing the game for real. Like you're making moves and you're making some shots and you're missing some shots, but you're playing the game and you're trying to improve and you're trying to get better and you're just trying to be the best um version of yourself that you can, the most attractive version of yourself that you can, right? And in order to play the game properly, you're gonna have to know how to talk to girls. You're gonna have to know how to talk to women, like how to approach them and how to create attraction, right? So, one of the main things um, I realized that if you really want to be in the game for real, you really want to actually have success um, and have options and create abundance, you have to sort of, put your emotions in check, right? You can't be moving around all emotional like that because it's going to slow down your game. It's going to slow down your momentum. It's going to slow down your moves. You're going to hesitate and shit like that. You can't be, you got to sort of, just get more logical and intelligent about the way you move when it comes to meeting women. Like if you want results with women, you have to get out your feelings. You have to get out of taking shit personal. You have to get out of being emotional. Forget about all that shit and just know what you want and start going for it. And what's gonna happen is the emotions are not gonna go away, right? What I mean by that, when you see a woman you find attractive, you're gonna get nervous, right? Because she's attractive, right? You actually care to some extent because to you she has value, right? That's why you find her attractive, whether it's her looks, whether it's a combination of her looks and her style and her personality, whatever it is, you find her attractive. That means you see some value in her. So an emotion is gonna come up. Now the emotion that comes up, it's not an emotion that's necessarily saying go and approach her. It's more of an emotion that's saying, oh, don't get rejected, right? Because if you get rejected, then you suck. But that's an emotion. That's not an intelligent thing to think about. Like that's not logic, because the reality is if you approach a woman and she rejects you, she can't really reject you because she doesn't really know you. She's just rejecting that moment, right? So anytime a girl says no, it actually just means not in this moment, right? Because her emotions can change. She can say no to you right now, and then another day, if you were to approach her, she would have said yes, because she's in a different state of mind. You don't know what she has went through that day. You don't know who you might be triggering something in her because of the way you look. Maybe you look like an ex-boyfriend. You don't know what is going on in her head, right? All you know is how she's reacting to you, and you just have to go off of that and not take it personal, right? So if you want to be a player in the game, you're gonna have to be cold, right? You're gonna have to be, you shouldn't be warm or like caring until a woman is actually giving you compliance. Like until she's giving you compliance, you have to be, you know what I mean? Like you have to be straight. You got to be on point. You got to just know, okay, like you can't be reactive and attached and all that shit. You have to just be able to get on with it, right? If she's with it, then cool. If she's not with it, then get on with it. Go and talk to the next girl. Go and, keep the momentum going. Think about, like, let's say we're playing basketball. You take a shot and you miss the shot. You can't sit there and say, damn, I suck, I missed. You go and take another shot, and you're going to take another shot until you make the shot, and you're like, okay, I made the shot, right? If you don't like your percentage, like if you take 10 shots and you only make one shot, that means you need practice. That means you need to get more references of how to do it properly. That means you need to work on your technique. You know what I mean? That means you need to work on your muscle memory, right? You need repetition, right? So if you approach a woman and you get rejected, you approach another one, you get rejected, you approach another one, you get rejected, you approach another, you get rejected. All that means is that you have some shit you got to work on, right? Something you are doing is turning women off, right? If it's happening consistently, right? Don't just do 3 approaches. Don't just approach 3 women and then let's say you approach 3 women and all 3 reject you and then say that you suck. No, you have to approach a decent amount of women before you even come to any conclusions, right? I would say, like at least 10, right? If you approach 10 women and all of them give you a bad reaction, then you know something is up with your game, right? But if you approach 10 women, more than likely a couple of them are gonna, be cool. You know what I mean? So, and then you just kind of go from there. You look, you analyze it. Don't analyze it in the moment. You analyze it later, right? Later, you look at it and say, okay, what could I have done better? What did I do good? You know what I mean? You can analyze it later, but in the moment, there's no time for analyzing and getting in your head and all that shit. You just got to know what you want to do. That's why when I go to the club, there's different ways to go about it, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have a minimum number of women I should approach for the night, because I understand that it's a numbers game. That like a good part of it is a numbers game, but it also, you have to take into consideration your game. So it's a numbers game, but your game will determine whether those numbers are in your favor or not, right? So what that means is if you're good with women, you're still gonna get rejected sometimes, right? There's still gonna be times where a woman is not gonna be interested or it's just not gonna work out. That's part of the game. But when you're good with women, it happens less often. That's all that is. But you still get rejected. Like there's still gonna be times where the vibe is gonna be off and shit like that. And that's just part of the game, right? If we look at basketball, right? In basketball, the best players in basketball, they still miss shots, right? They still have bad days, like days where they miss way more shots than they make, right? But one thing about a great player is that they don't let a missed shot ruin their game, right? They'll keep shooting, they'll keep going forward, they'll keep they'll get on with it. They don't just get stuck in a temporary loss or a temporary defeat. It's like, nah, you gotta keep it going. You just had a bad game, or you just had going through a bad phase or whatever it is, but you keep going and you keep refining your skills and you keep getting better, and then you get back on point. So the game is really, it's about perseverance, it's about being intelligent, it's about checking your emotions. The biggest thing really I see is being able to deal with rejection. That's the biggest thing, because rejection can throw you off. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you're feeling yourself, if you're feeling good, if you're having a great day and you're gonna get rejected, it can fuck with you a little bit, right? But the real players in the game don't let it throw them off completely. You feel me? Like, yeah, it stings, yeah, it doesn't feel good or whatever, but it's like we gotta move on, because we know that you can get rejected by one girl and literally go to another girl and that girl will be all over you. That can literally happen, like right one after the other, and you can say the same exact thing, right? So maybe you went up to one girl and you said, hey, I thought you were attractive. Would you be down to have dinner? You could literally go to a girl and say that, and one girl will be like, no, right? Or get out my face or whatever. They don't really say get out my face, to be honest. They'll say like no, or they'll say no thank you or some shit. And then you may go to the next like 10 seconds later, go to another girl and say that same exact thing. And that girl will be like, yeah, that sounds like fun. When? When do you want to do it? Right? So you said the same exact thing. It's just one girl was in a certain emotional state of mind where she was not accepting of your offer, where another one, she was more accepting because she was in a different state of mind, a different emotional state. And so that's just what it was, right? Or maybe your delivery was a little different in the two, you know what I mean? And that's just you. That just comes from, you know, different experiences. You'll see what works for you as far as delivery and body language and all that stuff, and you start putting everything together, your results start getting better. All right. So, I mean, that was the whole point of this video, really just to talk about what it is to be a player in the game, what it is to, you know, start getting results and start attracting women, and, you know, just start doing your thing. You know what I mean? Having some options, having some abundance, and not having to settle for a relationship or settle with a woman that is not right for you. You know what I mean? Because you're in a place of scarcity, or because you don't want to go through what's necessary to have abundance. Because if you want abundance, you have to actually deserve it. You feel me? Like, if you want true abundance, you have to like do certain things to deserve it, right? And being complacent, making excuses, getting emotional, shit like that, it's not gonna get you anywhere. All right, so thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful. See you in the next one. Peace.